Now. Sorry.
So while D. Coons is doing all that.
I did it. So, sorry, Brian.
Naito beat Ibushi. Hey, we got Bryan Rose on the phone here. Naito beat Ibushi in his inaugural G1 match for this year. As Ibushi's return to G1 from 2 years being away.
Boy, this was nuts.
But this match. And as you've heard maybe last week, I had Ibushi winning this tournament from coming back to win this tournament. But a very good win for Naito to handle it as Ibushi returns to being Ibushi.
How both these men have necks?
Yeah,
we'll never know.
the spot of spots, which terrified everybody. The pile driver spot, which you look at it, it's like ooh. A, the pile driver itself is perfect. B, how? How is he not dead?
Red Shoes was like, no, please, not like this.
Not like this. Not like this.
We'll talk about Red Shoes Night 2 a little more.
This match was incredible. Definitely a match that we're going back to see. They got it with 4 3/4 of Voices of Wrestling. It's very, very good match.
What are your thoughts, Brian?
It was one of the better matches I wouldn't say. I mean, there's so many great matches this year, and this is like kind of the weird part. Like, this was like any other year, this would be a match of the year candidate because there's been so many good matches this year. It's kind of hard to put it there. But this was still like a tremendous match.
I put it up there. I gave it 5 stars.
So there for me,
I give it 5.
Like in the top 5.
I gave it 5.
If this match were in 2014, you can probably this might win a lot of match of the year ballots.
Yeah, I give it 4 3/4. By the way, so
I can go 5 on it. I think the match was so good, and it showcased what both guys could truly do against competition in their peer group. Very well done.
I thought the heart that they showed in this match was really good, and
the drama and the crowd ate it up all night long. I thought it was very impressive. The crowd did a really good job too, in rolling with the punches of this match. Well done by the crowd as well.
And if you're counting, Beast Mike got 2 out of 5.
Yeah,
on the G1 pick'em. I got 4 out of 5.
I got Sabre right. Sabre winning this match, and I believe it was Folly was the second one.
Folly, yeah.
Yeah, so Folly was the second one.
The only one I got wrong was, I think it was I had Sabre time. Was Goto. I had Naito winning. So, Brian, how did you do?
That was how I had it. I had Goto. I had Ishii winning, but it was Goto point. So.
But this was similar to March Madness in how many brackets got burned. Literally on the first night. This was literally like March Madness.
Yeah, we're pretty much. How many did you say were perfect after day
15.
1? 4?
15.
You said 15 was perfect after day 1. Wow.
After day 1. I don't know how many are perfect after day 2 or day 3. But
I'd imagine after day 3 that there's no perfect bracket left. I would have to think.
Let's just see. Let's move on to day 2 and only go through the tournament matches. Hirai Kawato and Kota Ibushi look alike. It's stunning, the resemblance. Before.
Like when you do see them next to each other, you do think they do kind of look alike. I didn't notice that until
somebody put it on Twitter. Somebody put it on Twitter too. Like Kota looking at him saying, "I'm an older version of you."
Yeah, that's a good eye. Very, very good eye. So night 2 begins with Juice Robinson getting his first signature win. So I figured we both wondered about Juice, and now that he's on this stage, how would he do? How would he react to the pressure of being his first G1? And gets it done with a win over Kojima. Very impressive.
This was another fantastic match.
Yeah, very impressive work by Kojima and Robinson. Absolutely. The signature win. He hits the Pulp Fiction with the W, with a big left in the Pulp Fiction to get it done. Yeah, the signature win of his career. Absolutely, for Juice Robinson today.
One of the key things New Japan's done this year is push Juice Robinson, and I think it's definitely deserved because he's improved tremendously since being a part of NXT, and now that he's come over here to New Japan, I think he's improved tons. He has a crowd behind him, and he is really having great matches with the likes of Goto and now Kojima this year. So I see him doing big things in the tournament in the future.
I see him having a similar run to Shelton Benjamin.
That's pretty good.
Sure.
The way this tournament's booked for him, like he could go on a winning streak to start and then falter off.
Right. I can see him getting three wins early, and then everybody's like, "Oh, look at the surprise of the tournament, Juice Robinson." But yeah, no, I hear you. I don't think he's a guy that's gonna be there at the end. I can hear you. He'll probably get 3 out of 4, and then pay off a little bit toward the end of the tournament. I can see that.
Your thoughts, Brian?
I'm not sure. I felt this was a really big win for him. I don't know if he'll win any other matches in the tournament. I'm sure he will. But as far as predicting how far he'll go, I mean, I think he'll earn a respectable amount of points at the end. He has 2 right now, so I think he'll probably have a little bit more before he starts taking losses.
6. Yeah, 6 or 8.
I think it's 6 to 8 too.
Sure. I think 6 is a good number. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Tama Tonga beating Big Mike Elgin. Solid match. It was a solid match. I would say good stuff. Elgin seems to work well with pretty much everybody, but Tonga with a nice counter after the slingshot, shoulder block move. But Tonga with the Falcon Arrow turned counter into an incredible counter from the Falcon Arrow to a gun stun to get the win. Well done.
I thought this was solid. This was solid. Brian, your thoughts on Tama Tonga defeating Michael Elgin?
This is a really good match. I just like the back and forth between the two. I think the ending was really good. I think it was like he went for a Falcon Arrow and then in midair, Tonga laid him out with the gun stun. I really like that finish.
Yeah, that was a good finish.
So, yeah, overall, I really like the match.
Speaking of phenomenal, Sonata defeat Evil.
This
really
match was
good.
About the last few minutes. It was one of those matches that picked up steam as the match went along. And the last 5 to 7 minutes were just ridiculous. Just completely ridiculous. It started a little slower, but they really got it going. As they got going, and as they got in rhythm, it was like a runaway train, and it was really good.
Red Shoes would get hit with a chair. That was funny.
Yep.
Not as hilariousness as the next match, but Sonata just nailing him.
Sonata gets the W with the moonsault. Well done.
No DQs here. There are no DQs in G1. I think we firmly established this after these last 3 matches.
Yep.
No DQs.
Yeah. Next time, I'm happy that there's no DQ. So you can lead to a legitimate winner. You get a legitimate winner off of it, or as they would have it. So we got Yano and Okada. Okada gets it done, and Okada's probably as unpredictable as you would think in this tourney.
This was fun.
Yeah.
With Gato and Jado on the outside, the low blows, the shenanigans, it was refreshing.
Yeah, I mean I think that's a good reason why Yano's in there. I mean, you're not gonna get a 4-star match out of him, but he's very fun and he gets what his role is. So every time you see him do a match, it's something funny and clever, and I think it's good for this tournament. You have somebody like him in here, just a different spice of life or variety of life or whatever. I think that's always a positive thing.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's
Okada
very
with the
positive.
win with the red ink.
And then, speaking of fantastic, this match, my goodness. I liked it more than a lot of other people. I think I went 4 stars on it. Kenny Omega defeat Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, I mean, you part of Suzuki. Like you love you some Minoru Suzuki.
Yes, I do.
But this was a very good match, as Omega continues his climb, and basically just to make his status as Wrestler of the Year, Omega is doing everything he possibly can to get that honor. Gotch style pile driver by Suzuki. You got the beat trigger, the counters after counters, but in the end, the one-winged angel gets it done for Kenny. But this was a very good match. The crowd was juiced, and I think the match it flowed well. I think things flowed well in this tournament.
Yeah.
Even interference, I think, wasn't a bad idea. I kind of disagree with the author of this column, but I disagree. I thought the interference was pretty good. I think as long as it's tempered, as long as it's not in every single match, I can live with the interference involved.
There are no perfect brackets after 2 days. None.
Yep, that's pretty as much.
I'm looking. I'm still in 4th place, baby.
Good stuff.
I had 8. I have 8, baby. Yep.
Basically, he's trying to do what I did in the actual March Madness tournament, where I started slow and then I kicked up gas in the second set of days, and we'll see what Deku does, how high he goes in this tourney. This is more his world than the March Madness bracket.
March Madness is my world too. Don't get me wrong.
No, you were solid. I think you were decent in yours.
But not as good as you, Beast Mike. Not as good as you.
I dominated. I had 3 out of 4 in my bracket for March Madness.
Brian,
and the championship game and the outcome.
Brian, your thoughts on the Kenny Omega Minoru Suzuki match?
I don't think this was like a blowaway match, but I think this was a very good main event. Just in that Suzuki and Omega, for the most part, worked together really well. I think there was like a few times where it was kind of weird because I don't think Suzuki normally takes those kind of bumps like the reverse Rana and things like that. So, and they masked it pretty well by saying, Omega's knee was destroyed for most of the match. So, anytime you'd see a hiccup here and there, there was at least a cover for it. But overall, it was just a really solid match. It told a good story. And I think this was one of Suzuki's better matches in New Japan since his return because a lot of people like the Okada and Suzuki match from earlier this year. I wasn't into it as many people were. So this match, this was one of the better matches I think he's had this year. So
you think it made up for that match a little bit? Do you think it made up for that match earlier in the year?
Yeah. I think that Suzuki's really great in what he does, and I think Omega's awesome what he does, and I think Omega had the kind of match that Suzuki kind of needs. So I think it worked really well here. And there's a few hiccups, but overall it was just a really great back and forth kind of match. Especially towards the end, it was more of a back and forth match. Suzuki dominated a lot of the first portion of the match.
Yes.
On to night 3.
On to night 3, and Brian can tell us about this since I haven't had the chance to watch it. I don't think Beast Mike had a chance to watch it. You watched it live, am I right?
Yes, I did.
So Hiroki Goto defeats Yuji Nagata to get 4 points.
This was a really good back and forth kind of match. Goto defeated Nagata with the GTR, and like I was talking about earlier, Nagata is one of the most underrated guys in this tournament, and every time he's there, he's there to be awesome. So he and Goto had a great back and forth match, and And Goto is always has a really good match with people. So this is no different. This was like another 4-star plus match. This is very good.
Familiar foes meet. Tomohiro Ishii gets his first 2 points of the tournament, defeating Togi Makabe.
I think that this was also a very good match, and I'm sure a lot of people think it's better than I think it is. I mean, I remember a few years ago where these two had matches for like 4 times in the span of 1 year, and I kind of got tired of it. Just because, I mean, they were all very good. I don't know about Ishii and Makabe match, but even now I'm kind of like not looking forward to these two fighting because they kind of have like the same match, even though it's a really good match. But this is also a very good match. So I mean, I don't have any complaints about the match in general. It was what you would expect from these two. But yeah, I mean, it was a very good match.
Now to the match that everyone wanted at Cruiserweight Classic but didn't get. Kota Ibushi versus Zack Sabre Jr.
And Ibushi gets it done. But yeah, you're right. I thought that would be the final. I think we all thought it would be the final.
Your thoughts, Brian?
If they signed, it would have been the final. This was. I think this is right under the Naito Ibushi match as my favorite of the tournament so far.
Okay.
The first match Sabre had with Tanahashi was a really, really good technical style kind of match, and I think this was better than that just because it was Ibushi, who's one of the most flashy and dynamic workers in the industry right now. And they blended their styles together to have a really exciting, great back-and-forth match where these two just held at each other with kicks. Sabre had his technical stuff going on, and it was awesome. A lot of wrist control. And Ibushi is just awesome, and a lot of cool spots, a lot of capturing kind of spots where Sabre would capture a leg, or Ibushi would go for something, and Sabre catches him, which is, I mean, it was always very cool to see. That's one of my favorite spots. And the finish was Sabre going for a triangle, but Ibushi deadlifted him and then hit the press powerbomb for the win. That was really cool.
That's nice.
A great way to finish what we thought would be a tremendous match when they booked the card, when they made the card happen, and did not disappoint.
Hiroshi Tanahashi gets his first 2 points, defeating Bad Luck Fale.
They always seem to run into each other, you know? Every year, they always run into each other in this tournament.
Wally almost always runs into Tanahashi or Okada.
Yep.
He's like one of those guys where he's not like pushed for most of the year, but when they feel like they need somebody to feud with Tanahashi or Okada for a month, they just put him in there, and he works because he's scary and he's usually dominant when he's in these kind of matches. And he was dominant in this match too. It didn't last a long time, but Tanahashi ended up winning by count out when he gave Fale a sling blade on the apron, and he made it to 20. And which is interesting because there's not many count out finishes in New Japan. There's maybe a handful each year, and they normally evolve around.
There's normally one in the G1. There is normally one in the G1 because they like to do the count-out finish, so every other 19 count is that much exciting.
Yeah, no, I think it was a good way to use it now. I think it was a good way to use it with Fale using like the big lumbering guy who was too slow to get back into the ring. I think that was a good way to use the count-out for this. So I think it was a good move to use it for this one particular match, and it's a good twist on what's been a G1 rivalry over the last 3 or 4 years.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
What were you about to say?
No, I was coughing.
Oh, I apologize.
All right, so the last match of night 3, the match with Blockade with both guys winning in night 1. we had Naito and Yoshihashi. And this time it was Naito getting it done. So Naito with the early jump in this tournament.
Your thoughts on this match, Brian?
Yeah, this is also a really, really good match. Yoshihashi is, well, this is his second tournament, I believe, and he's always been very consistent, too. And he's kind of like Nagata, where he's kind of overlooked, but when he's put in like big match situations, he almost always delivers. And this was no different. He and Naito had a great match. He looked really great in the final minutes of the match. He had him in the butterfly lock forever, and Naito tried to make it to ropes, but Yoshihashi would pull him back in the middle. And Naito just kept struggling until he finally got the leg on ropes. So he went for Karma, his finishing move, like a pump handle driver. But then in midair, Naito hit the Destino. Yoshihashi kicked out, but then Naito hit another for the win.
That's nice.
That's a great counter.
Yeah, it's always cool to see that.
Well played by Naito there. So the standings are as follows, as we're done the 3 nights here. For Block A, we've got Goto has 4, Naito has 4, Balak Fale, Ibushi, Ishii, Sabre, Tanahashi, and Yoshihashi all have 2 apiece, with Makabe and Nagata so far have been shut out. Meanwhile, Block B, we got Okada, Omega, Robinson, Sonata, Tonga, all with 2, with Elgin, Evil, Kojima, Suzuki, and Yano all have not won a match yet.
Moving on, I was going to talk about the BJW show, but I haven't really watched all of it yet, so I will save my thoughts on that for next week.
Okay.
But real quickly, we'll go over the BOLA cards for Night 1 and Night 2 of PWG's Battle of Los Angeles. These cards are insane.
Yeah.
Let me fully preface this as these cards are insane. So, the tournament matches for Night 1 are Brian Cage versus Desmond Xavier, Ray Phoenix versus Ray Horus, which should be very good, Flash Morgan Webster versus Marty Scurll, Matt Sydal faces Pentagon Jr., I can't say his other name, Pena El Zero Maedo, what the hell. Jonah Rock faces Zack Sabre Jr., which should be fantastic, and Flamita versus Ricochet. Then we have the 2 tag matches. We have Donovan Dijak and Keith Lee versus the Chosen Bros of Jeff Cobb and Matt Riddle.
Okay, that's going to be good. That's a good.
Yeah.
And then my favorite match of the entire tournament, South Pacific Power Trip, TK Cooper, Travis Banks face the Young Bucks.
Basically what we're saying
of Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson.
These are Iku's 2 favorite tag teams in the world right now, regardless of company. And to see them actually battle each other in this particular tournament is going to actually be really good.
This is going to be nuts.
Legit awesome.
And then Night 2 gets better. Sammy Guevara versus TK Cooper, Donovan Dijak versus Keith Lee, Jeff Cobb versus Sami Callihan, Matt Riddle versus Michael Elgin, which should be very good, Mark Haskins versus Travis Banks, and defense would be a misconception here as Keith Lee faces Walter. Oh my god.
That's actually going to be legit awesome.
And then the 2 tag matches are the leaders of the new school, Zack Sabre Jr. and Marty Scurll versus Ricochet and Matt Sydal, which would be fantastic. And then the 6-man tag, the elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Sorry, I am dropping your eardrums here. Versus Flamita, Ray Phoenix, and Pena El Zero Maedo. That should be insane.
That sounds insane.
That's actually going to be legit good. These 2 nights. And last year's show was 2 shows were very good, and very good all the way through, and had the signature 6-man tag. But these two cards are, again,
and you could have another
set.
signature six-man tag. You have Omega and Flamita. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be insane. And watch out for South Pacific Power Trip. My God.
Yeah, no,
they're so good.
Some of their first true exposure on American soil, even. I think they're really they could really shine here, and then really open up a lot of eyes in this country.
Yes.
This team is a very good team. We've seen them battle various teams earlier in matches earlier this year, and they really bring it. Both guys do. I think they're going to be very good in this spot against the Bucks.
Let's go to the WWE Monday Night Raw. A good show plagued by a horrendous, all-time bad angle.
Yeah, no, the Raw, all in all, I thought was better than SmackDown this week. But this angle, it looks like
it's all-time bad. It's all-time bad.
This angle's not going to be good.
I'm gonna bash it. So be ready. Be ready, my listeners. You're going to get a full-fledged ass bashing here from me.
Let me know the D-Coots' hot take is going to be hotter than the weather. Let's get
Let's go. Let's go. Monday Night Raw.
All right, so Raw jumped off. Obviously, the mystery we'll get to later. Let's see. So we got the first thing.
Which was very good.
Yeah, I like this segment from the go. Ambrose and Rollins kind of rehash, and Ambrose still didn't get over the whole Shield thing and the Shield breakup with Seth. And I thought it was really cool how Seth was like, okay, let's get it out of your system. We obviously have common enemies here in the Miz and the Miz Garage. So Seth turned his back to Dean and said, go ahead, hit me. Hit me as much and as hard as you possibly can. Make it count. I won't play defense. And Ambrose couldn't pull the trigger. And I thought it was really cool. It wasn't even the Rollins trying to psych him out or anything. It was just Dean Ambrose just simply couldn't hit him. He just simply couldn't do it. So instead, Miz and his crew come out and learning from last week's ending where Ambrose waylaid on Miz with chairs. Instead, it was the Miz and his Miz Taraj all bringing out chairs to and make a 3-on-2 beatdown on Ambrose and Rollins, culminating with the skull-crushing finale by Miz to Rollins on a chair. And it left Ambrose laying on the outside of the ring. So it was very good by Miz and his crew to handle that situation smoothly. Next up, we got Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, and Nia obviously being there, which got ahead of Bayley, but it was Sasha who would kind of make this a little bit of a save, but not physically towards Alexa, but got Nia out of play to make it back to 1-on-1. And it was Bayley this time, with the Bayley to belly onto Alexa, getting the job done and winning the match, which now puts Bayley and Sasha in a match next week. Winner gets to SummerSlam and Alexa. We got that was a solid match. Mustafa Ali and Jack Gallagher beating Kendrick and Gulak. Obviously, this was about Ali and Gulak with the situation, the 2 out of 3 falls match. Which is
Can we talk about that 2 out of 3 falls match first? My God, that was so fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. It was real. A lot of it was at Gulak's pace. A lot of it was a textile with Drew Gulak. It was very good. But before we get to that real quick, it was Ali with the 054, if you will, on the Kendrick getting the pin there on Raw. But the 2 out of 3 falls match was really good. So we got Ali with the tech move to roll up and steal a pin on the first fall on Gulak. And then the match where still went at Gulak's pace, but it was Ali controlling it. And it turned into Gulak eventually getting back into it and Gulak getting the submission win for the second fall. And now the third fall, where both guys going at it and both guys doing some of their best stuff. And it was Gulak who would ultimately make the move for him to lose the match. As Gulak thought about going to the top rope, but Ali caught him with a Hurricane Rana in the 054 to get it done and win the match and end the rivalry once and for all. But
that was fantastic.
Yeah, it really was. It was a very good match.
Yeah, I saw clips of that and it looked really good. Probably one of the better 205 live matches in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
That was one of the better. Yeah, that was one of the better matches. The thing that happens in 205, they seem to have what Neville's doing, and then the next the second tier rivalry, and whenever the second tier rivalry finishes, that match turns out to be pretty solid.
Like the I Quit between Tozawa and
the I Quit match. Yeah, the I Quit match last week, and then you got Kendrick Tozawa was very solid. The I Forfeit with Gallagher and Daivari was solid. They seem to do well with their secondary rivalries, aside from everything Neville's doing. So this yet again, 205 Live with another solid performance for this, and this led off the show surprisingly. I'm surprised it didn't end it, but this led off 205. Also, so we got. We'll get to what happened with Tozawa later. Let's see here. Next up, we got Enzo with a good promo, and Cass would show up and do his thing, and then Big Show would show up because Enzo set up Big Show and Cass to fight each other, and it looked like Big Show for the first few minutes of that brawl. It looked like Big Show was going to destroy Cass, but Cass, to his credit, really came back and really was very impressive. Got his win back and ended up getting the jump on Big Show, and then knocked Enzo out with the big boot. So very good performance in that part of this. Good job there. All parties involved.
Yes.
Balor and Samson is turning up a little bit as once again Balor interrupts Samson, and being in Nashville, I think it was a perfect way to reintroduce the whole guitar thing, as Samson would lose by disqualification by rocking Finn Balor in his shoulder with the guitar. I thought it was a very solid way to continue to fan the flames of what's becoming a pretty decent rivalry. It's been Samson's first legit rivalry on the main roster. And also, we got the Bray Wyatt thing, where Bray Wyatt appeared on the screen to get at Balor, and we're starting to see the Balor Wyatt thing is going to kick off really soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too.
I can't look forward to any Bray Wyatt feud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, he said he doesn't, or he does?
He doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm a Wyatt guy. D-Coos is not a Wyatt guy. We've been on this for pretty much as long as we've known him on this show. It's figures. We'll get people on both sides of this, of course. I mean, people who are on my side and people who are not. So it's whatever. Let's see. We got Titus and Arya Daivari and Akira Tozawa. Obviously, Daivari did handle business and beat up the shoulder of Tozawa, which got to the point where Titus had to stop the match. It led to a rematch with that main event at 205 Live, and it led to Tozawa getting a measure of revenge and winning the match by pinfall. But I think it was decent, decent way to continue their rivalry going and continue to build momentum for Daivari, who legitimately was been a ghost on 205 Live, except for his kind of flaunting his riches.
Yes.
Then we get to the most talked about portion of the show. Kurt Angle revealing his secrets.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a thing where, okay, D. Coops and I, we predicted it last week. He thought it may be something to do with Stephanie. I thought it was something to do with Dixie Carter, who was on the Very Good Homecoming Kurt Angle documentary they did. We never saw this one coming, where Kurt Angle would reveal he had some sort of thing in college.
At Clarion University, of all places, in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. And he gave birth to a son he had no idea. And then this would turn into Jason Jordan, which I'm
surprised people didn't completely crap all over this.
Yeah.
I called you right after this, Mike.
Yeah, you did. You loathed this segment. I didn't love it.
I laughed my ass off.
Because I think of Jason. I like Jason Jordan a lot. I really do like. I like both Jordan and Gable a lot, and I didn't see this one coming. And if people jumped on him on Twitter, it was actually amazing looking at Twitter after the reveal from the reactions of everybody. I thought that was pretty cool. But it was this.
My God.
This could be a car crash. I mean,
this is historically bad. This is historically bad.
This could be good, but this could legitimately be a car crash.
No, this is a car crash. Brian?
Just cut to the car crash. Okay.
Your thoughts?
I just think it feels old. It kind of reminds me of, and this is going way back, so it reminds me of when they brought in Lance Von Erich in like World Class Championship Wrestling, where it's like, oh, here's new Von Erich, and people are like, no, it's not, and World Class was saying, yeah, he is, until he left World Class, and then they said, oh, well, he's not really a Von Erich. This just feels very antiquated, very pro wrestling from 1980s. Nobody buys it. Nobody believes it. I don't see it working.
No.
I don't.
Neither do I. No. This is not going to work. This is not going to end good. Jason Jordan at best is the mid-carder on Raw. He
is a great athlete, and he has like the credentials to kind of be in this role, but Chad Gable was like a million times better for the role.
Yeah,
they didn't go with
him. I thought it was going to be Gable.
So,
my God,
I for sure thought it was going to be Gable. When he mentioned like the credentials in the background and the Olympic part, because Gable actually was an Olympian, you figure perfect fit. Gable as an Olympian, Gable the Olympian, Kurt Angle Olympic gold medalist. Logic says perfect fit. But it wasn't Gable.
The
and
tweets.
It was a very good team in American Alpha, which I think everyone was like, whoa, why are we splitting up a really good team in American Alpha? Thing. That was another thing that was about that.
The tweets about who Kurt Angle might have drugged or...
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, no, everyone...
It could be one of three people. Charmel?
Yep.
Raka Khan?
Uh-huh.
Or Shaniqua.
Or Shaniqua, yep. Exactly.
Those are the three. Come on.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're joking about this right now.
Yeah. This can't end well. We all understand and know that this can't possibly end well.
Sorry, I had to go there because Vince Angle's stupid!
Yeah, it's... Cause Kurt Angle was fine with all this. American Alpha was fine on their own. I would love to have seen the American Alpha versus New Day battle, but unfortunately we're not getting it because good old Vince McMahon changed it up on us.
That senile old man that canceled Talking Smack. That's even more egregious.
Absolutely everyone dumped on because Talking Smack was tremendous, and that needs to be dumped on because that was a tremendous.
And it's going to be hosted by Lawler of all people after Battleground. No one's going to watch that.
That can't end well. None of this ends well. Then Renee and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, and then this continued Mrs. Ascension on last year. And Kevin Owens has been funny when he's been on it. And at
least Peter Rosenberg knows how to do something on that show. And I hate Peter Rosenberg.
Rosenberg at least knew how to stir the pot. At least Renee trying to be neutral, and then you had Rosenberg being the antagonist. I thought that was fine. Even that would have been okay to keep that going.
Well, are you talking about the Bring It to the Table show?
No, Talking Smack. No, Talking Smack.
Oh, okay.
The Talking Smack being canceled.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I think it's bad. Why take away another place where people can go and have unscripted interviews?
Right. That's what made it
it's one of.
It felt real.
Yeah, it needs to come off as real when you're trying to do these scripted, and when you hear the scripted stuff that goes on SmackDown and on Raw, it's like this isn't how to get people over. This is just meaningless buzzwords you want to throw around that normal people don't normally say, and a lot of Raw and SmackDown feels like that. So. And they're not canceled. They're just going to be on after pay-per-views. But even then, and there is pay-per-view every week, so it's not like it's completely going away. But cutting it down isn't. I don't feel like is a great idea.
No one does. Nobody likes that decision. This was a show that connected with everybody who watched it, and I think that's the problem. I think that's why. Nobody likes that decision that it was cut off or cut down. Next up, we had what was a good match and a match I think we all really wanted to see was Revival versus Hardy. And the Revival making their return to the ring after the Dash Wilder jaw injury. And we would get a little bit of Revival antics at the very end, but it was a very solid match from the go. And we got Brother Nero chance. And during the match, obviously, delete stuff. But it was Wilder who pushed Jeff off the top rope from the Swanton, and the tights would be held for the pin. Revival getting it done. Good win for the Revival. And probably their signature win to date on NXT or Raw, for that matter. Aside from beating New Day the first night. Good match, though. Then we get to the main event. Which was, any reaction? Any thoughts on the Revival Hardy?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Ryan, your thoughts?
I thought it was good too. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than I guess it's the start of a feud.
Yeah,
probably
no
going
doubt.
for a while.
I like to see it, and it'll be different. See, I wonder who will be next in line to fight Cesaro and Sheamus for their tag titles. Do you figure they're gonna have a guest partner at some point soon?
They didn't even appear this week, so
no,
maybe a three-way.
They were both in the back, just like waiting to see who was coming next.
Yeah.
In the main event, which really delivered the goods, between Joe versus Reigns, this match legitimately delivered. Both guys going hard, and the physicality was real, and the drama was real. And this was a Joe pace, but this was a very good battle. And then our favorite thing in WWE right now would return. In the name of Yep, exactly. I tried to set him up. I'm trying to set him up. It worked. It worked. Well done. Okay, so Braun Strowman returns and lays waste to both parties. We got a little bit of Joe and Strowman, and I'm totally with seeing that. I think we would all love seeing Joe and Strowman one-on-one.
Oh, I would.
Yeah, I'm saying, I'm with it. I'm totally with it. I'd love to see Joe and Strowman battle one-on-one.
Sorry I dropped your eardrums, Brian.
It's cool.
But yes, this was.
I know it's 8 a.m. in the morning. It's the wake-up call you needed after watching the G1.
Sure.
Me yelling, Braun! Braun!
It's so good. Strowman is so good. Strowman came back and basically laid waste.
I'm better than that guy yelling Braun Twitter account.
That's good. No,
that Twitter account is fantastic. Just guy yelling Braun.
Yeah, it's legit good. So Strowman basically destroyed Joe and Reigns with power slams left and right, leaving them both laying. And he probably would have done worse had either guy decided to get up. Strowman handled it.
And then he would say, I'm not finished with you!
Seriously, WWE, we need that shirt ASAP. I will buy that shirt ASAP. Strowman, yeah, so needless to say, this was a very good match and was a pretty solid way to close the show. And a lot of people are speculating that Lesnar, after his contract is up, while we're on the subject of this, it's two things. One, they're speculating a fatal four-way. And two, they're speculating that Brock may not re-up with WWE after his contract run, which could mean
UFC.
Which obviously would mean UFC. And would spell the end of Brock's reign at SummerSlam. So let's keep an eye on Brock Lesnar and what happens going forward with Brock over the next month or so. SmackDown Live kicked off. Shifting to SmackDown, obviously we'll be able to predict Battleground. Actually, you know what? Let's do NXT and then we'll do SmackDown.
Yeah.
There's Battleground this Sunday. So NXT, 3 very good matches on NXT. First up, we had the ladies. We had Ember Moon and Ruby Riott, and it was a very productive one-on-one. And in the end, it'll be a little bit too much Ember with the Eclipse, but this was probably the best we've seen of Ruby Riott since she's been in NXT. That was impressive what she was doing. I was very happy with her performance.
Oh my God, the Braun shirt. There is a Braun shirt.
Oh, there is? Oh, there is not. There is
the Monster Among Us.
Oh, no, we know about that one. I was waiting for Braun to say something. I'm finished with you. Well, if there is one, I will buy it. And I will absolutely buy it. I love that. Because he means every word of that. It comes out very violently with Braun Strowman. So Ember gets it done with the Eclipse, and but all in all, very solid match, and I really did like Ember and Ruby Riott. That was the best Ruby Riott I think we've seen in NXT. Then we got to Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, and I loved it. This was violent. And
this is a really good, fierce back and forth match. I really liked it.
It was tremendous back and forth. The crowd ate it up. It was a really good fight from start to finish, and that's exactly what they call it. It was a fight. I believe it was Lurkin who got the win with the submission, but it was a really good fight. I really enjoyed this match. They shook hands and agreed we're going to battle again. They're going to battle for a third time. And by all means, let's see it. I want to see more between the two. And that was fun. That was very, very entertaining. Next up, we got the Noe Jose got back in the ring. He beat the dude who beat Almas a couple months ago, and he beat him rather quickly with a pop-up punch. But then it was, speaking of Almas, it was Almas who would come back, and Almas was jumping. Yeah, Lorcan beat Burch with that submission. It was Almas beating Bonani. Bonani looked productive. He looked productive against Noe Jose, but Almas would come back and beat up Bonani after the match, which looks like they're setting up Almas versus Jose later on this summer. So we'll see how that works out. Then we get to the main event. We get Killian Dane and Drew McIntyre. And like Lorcan and Burch, defense would have been offensive. And this was a very productive match between the two. And both big guys really did their thing. And what I thought was really cool, McIntyre could not keep Killian Dane down. He simply just couldn't do it until the very end of the match, where he would put him out with a claymore. He put him with one claymore, right? Actually, hit him with the future shot,
right?
And Killian Dane kicked out after one, and then he hit him with the first claymore, and Killian Dane continued to get up, but it was the second claymore as Killian Dane basically begged him, "Come on, hit me as hard as you can." McIntyre obliged. Hit with the second claymore to get it done. Now we got Rude versus McIntyre in Brooklyn for the NXT Championship, which should be a very entertaining match. So this all in all, very good NXT from start to finish. Well done. Yep. Next week we're gonna get Hero versus Tommy this Wednesday on NXT, which should be very good. So that was NXT and a good NXT this week. Now we're gonna go back 24 hours and go back to SmackDown. And SmackDown started with the Punjabi Prison debut on SmackDown.
But first,
Jinder,
can we just...
And what's up?
But first... I just love that song.
It's you know what? It's actually growing on me a little bit. The song, it's been growing on me a little bit. I still don't love Mike Bennett yet, but I think in time I might like him. Obviously, everyone knows I love Maria. So, but we'll see how Mike Bennett goes on.
Sorry, Brian.
So, Jinder brings the Punjabi Prison to SmackDown. Pretty good promo with the Singh brothers explaining the rules. And Jinder doing his thing, and the Randy Orton promising violence as he was on top of the Punjabi Prison. He was on top of the outside structure. But this is going to be solid. We'll explain the rules later on. Jimmy Uso versus Kofi. Good battle between the two. Jimmy would get it done with a little bit of shenanigans by all parties outside the ring. But it was the roll-up for using Kofi's momentum. After Kofi did a tremendous crossbody, Jimmy would use the momentum against him, flip him over, and get the pin there. So good win for Jimmy Uso. As we get closer, it will be a very good tag match this Sunday. So back to the Lovebirds. Mike Kanellis.
Let me cue it.
Talk to him.
I love this. Brian, your thoughts on this theme song? Brian, are you there?
Yes.
Yes,
The thing is that you keep cutting out, so I can't hear you.
Oh,
sometimes.
I'm sorry.
No. You know what happened I think when you cut the song on, I think it turns off the.
I'm an idiot.
It turns him off. So you
that theme song.
Yeah.
The Mike and Maria theme song?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
Yes.
It's one of the better theme songs. This new band that they have, CFO, I think they're called.
Yeah.
They are very on the money when it comes to theme songs lately.
Yeah, CFO.
This one was really good too.
They're really good. Their CFO really nails it with their theme songs. So basically, Sami Zayn dominated the majority of the match until Maria got involved, and Maria would provide a little bit of a distraction for Sami, which then lead to basically Dana Brooks' finisher to get it done for Mike Kanellis. So he gets the pin, and they'll have a rematch this Sunday. I think it'll be the pre-show match for Battleground.
No, the pre-show match is Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English.
Actually, you're right. Why are they doing that again?
I don't know.
They're going to rematch. They're going to rematch again this Sunday at the pay-per-view. Let's see. Next up, and this was set up basically by Natalya, who all parties involved wanted Lana, and instead Becky Lynch versus Charlotte. Natalya would kind of egg on Becky versus Charlotte, and this would lead to Charlotte saying, "But Becky's not competition." So we got a friendly battle between Becky and Charlotte, as Shane would make the match official. It's good to see Shane cool after the helicopter crash.
Oh, wow.
To be savage.
Shane can't die!
And the Young Bucks was a perfect tweet after the crash, where they were like, if you join or somebody had a McMahonism tweet, where if you join McMahonism, you can survive a limousine explosion and a plane crash. So it was actually pretty good. I thought it was a really good tweet. And the Young Bucks saying only Shane McMahon can think of a helicopter crash and walk out unscathed. And
then the worst tweet of the week, obviously, Jim Cornette comparing Hitler to Kenny Omega. Why?
Oh, yeah. No,
that was the worst tweet of the week.
You mentioned Vince being a senile old man. Are you sure Cornette's not more senile than Vince?
Brian, who's more senile, Jim Cornette or Vince McMahon?
Vince McMahon. I mean, I can't really defend what Cornette put out either. It's really stupid, but I mean, I just think of all the things Vince McMahon's thought of in the last few years when it comes to like booking and storytelling. I think Cornette could probably do a hell of a lot better job than Vince McMahon at this point.
Oh, I agree with that, but
Cornette's probably more in tune with the fans than Vince is. Yeah, I'll buy that.
But not in tune with the fans on this. Comparing Kenny Omega.
No, I mean, Cornette is not in tune with. And you know what the funny thing is? I like watching Smoky Mountain. I like watching Ohio Valley. And I like watching this stuff too. But I mean, he's just. I don't know if this is like a gimmick. If this is like something that he's trying to work people over. I don't know, but it just doesn't fit. I just don't think it's
I think
right
it's the same way I
to
think of
do
Russo. I think
right now.
I think both things. Good.
Oh, Mike, what were you going to say?
I think it's the same way I think of Russo. I don't think these are shoots. I think these are just how they feel. I think this is just how people how they just legit feel about wrestling today. Russo and Cornette. I don't think those are shoots. I think that's genuine, honest thoughts between those guys.
Yeah. But back to SmackDown. Sorry, I had to bring that up.
No. I think it was probably necessary to bring it. Anyway, back to it. Charlotte and Becky, very productive match. Very solid between the two, and both women would put off a lot of their signature stuff. But it was Becky in the end with a very good counter to Charlotte, and would lock into disarmer, and Charlotte would try to roll away, but could not escape, and Charlotte was forced to submit to the disarmer. Then we got Tamina, Lana, and Natalya. Basically, Tamina and Natalya would lead the tea time in the ring, or T Generation X, as they call themselves, in the ring. As they would make their statement. And Lana was the last person standing, technically, as Tamina left the ring on her own. Lana was the last person left in the ring, so they got their 5-woman elimination match. We got Cena making a passion plea to the WWE Universe about standing with him against Bulgaria and Rusev. Then we got Rusev leaving Cena laying, and leaving Cena.
This segment was very good.
Yeah, it was. It really was. It really built the anticipation for the match. It got Rusev. It cut Rusev with the heat. It got Cena kind of over because of how Cena went all Americana with the promo. I think this was a very good segment and a very good way to build momentum for the match this Sunday. As Rusev left Cena laying with the accolade, despite Cena's efforts to try to get out of the accolade, it would then leave Rusev to go put the flag on the stand and leave the flag as it could be this Sunday. Now the main event. Owens and Corbin versus Styles and Nakamura. And what always seems to happen with Corbin and Shinsuke does his entrance, and Baron Corbin jumps him. Kevin Owens will follow up. It would lead to AJ Styles coming to the ramp as well, or coming to the entranceway as well. And this will lead to a pretty solid match between the four. And the two, I guess, co-mains, if you will, for the pay-per-view this Sunday. Or two of the three co-mains. In the end, it would be Owens gives a powerbomb on to AJ to get the pin for his team. But this was a very good match between the two.
Yeah.
So, between the four. So well done. Well done by all parties involved.
Now we get Battleground.
This Sunday, Battleground.
Heavily discounted tickets. Basically, we're begging you to come to the show.
Not us, but them.
Them, yeah.
Not us, but WWE is begging
I'll
you to come.
be gladly sitting home in my apartment. Gladly.
If you intend on going, if I don't, obviously I'll be watching from home as well. So WWE Battleground, the matches are as follows. As D. Coots mentioned earlier, we'll get the Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English again.
1, 2, 3, Ty Dillinger.
Dillinger, I expect to get done. Yep.
Sami Zayn versus It's the greatest of all.
Not terrible. As long as he does the words, it's actually not terrible. Zayn versus Kanellis. I think it'll be 2-0 for Kanellis. I think it'll probably get a similar flow as to what we saw on Tuesday. I think it'll be Kanellis getting it done.
I think Sammy gets it done.
Okay.
I think Sammy will win, but it'll be kind of fluky, or it'll be something weird enough to where they'll continue to feud for another month at least.
All right, fair enough. The rest of these matches legitimately are very good. Well, let's go with I guess we'll work our way up.
AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens.
Styles versus Owens U.S. Championship.
Ooh, this is hard.
It's
like picking between two of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
So this is like picking between children. But I'll pick AJ.
I'm going to go Styles, too. I thought Styles was going to win the match anyway, but I didn't think he'd win the title in the Garden. But that's what they did, and I'm okay with him winning it in the Garden. That's perfectly fine. I think Styles retains.
Brian?
I'm going to go with Owens because I think that the house show thing was just a thing to do at a house show, and he's probably going to win it back at Battleground. I think that's why they did it.
Although a lot of people, we're thinking it could be Styles, because both Shinsuke and Cena have made it known they want a shot at the U.S. title, and so that could set up two tremendous matches with Styles. And as you know, even then, if Owens gets it back, you got great matches with any of the three of them for the U.S. Championship.
Which means more gender.
Which could mean more. Which we'll get to gender later. Next up, we got the ladies. We got actually Shinsuke versus Baron Corbin before we get to the ladies.
I'll go with Big Banter.
You got Corbin.
I know it's choosing between my children.
I love Corbin too, but I know this is much more in my case than yours. I would think. You know, I'm a big Corbin guy, and this is one of my favorites. As is. Ooh, this one's hard, but I'm gonna go Shinsuke.
I think it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Nakamura.
Yeah, he's got Shinsuke too. Okay. Now to the ladies. Charlotte, Becky, Natalya, Tamina, Lana. Fatal 5-way elimination match. Winner gets Naomi at SummerSlam. Or the Women's Championship.
Charlotte.
Wow. I want to pick Tamina. I really do, but I think it'll be Charlotte, too. I like to see Tamina fight Naomi, but I think it'll be Charlotte, too.
I'm not really sure. I mean, Charlotte's kind of been pushed as a face lately, and a face versus face match at SummerSlam's kind of weird. So, I mean, there's Natty. I don't think it's going to be Natty.
Okay.
Yep. Tamina, no. Who's
Lana and Becky.
Well, Lana, Becky, and Tamina.
I think I might go with Lana again.
that could be a way for, list, that could be a way for Carmella to cash in.
Possibility.
For Lana to steal the title and then Carmella to cash on Lana, that could be a way for Carmella to cash. That could be reasonable.
Flag match.
Cena and Rusev.
I'll go with Cena. Good old Americana.
In the birthplace of America, if Rusev won, I think people wouldn't dump on it, but I think if people would really think, it would be really devastating for Cena to lose that match. I think Cena gets it done.
Yeah, I agree.
Usos versus New Day.
For the WWE Tag Team Championships on SmackDown side of things, I think New Day gets the titles. I think New Day wins the titles and ends what's been a very good reign for the Usos. And they've done a very good job establishing them as best tag team in the company right now. And these are the two best tag teams in the company. I think in the end, I think it'll be New Day getting it done.
I agree. I think New Day. I think it's the right time for New Day to win the tag team titles.
Yep. Where do you see this, Dekus?
I see New Day.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll pick a New Day to win the title.
So clean shave.
And now the Punjabi prison match. We should also explain the flag match rules. So no DQs, countouts, pinfall submissions, none of that. But the match ends with the person grabbing their respective country's flag and bringing it to a line of demarcation, which will be on the stage.
So this is basically a flag race.
Yeah. Basically it's a flag race.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
This is so stupid.
And you have to plant the flag on the stand in question. So that's how you end up winning the flag match this Sunday.
Sorry, I had to get into that.
Now the Punjabi prison match, and the rules are pretty simple. But as DQ throws up, the rules are pretty simple. No pinfalls, DQs, disqualifications, countouts. The rules are simple. There will be two cages, as you saw on SmackDown. The outer cage, think Elimination Chamber style, with how round it is. The inner cage, think Steel Cage style, with the how high it is, like 15 to 20 feet tall here. I think both cages, the inner cage is 15 and the outer cage is 20, something like that. And there'll be doors on four sides of the ring, each attended to by a referee. Now, at any time during the match, either Jinder or Randy can call for a door to be opened. You have 60 seconds to use the door. If in that time you do not use the door shuts, that's on you. This can be done all four times. Now, the outer structure has no doors. And
you have to climb.
You have to climb out of the cage, both cages. You have to get out of both cages to win the match.
So we're going to have a climbing race and a flag race in this pay-per-view. This is going to suck. This is going to suck.
This sounds overly complicated for pro wrestling.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm okay with the flag match.
It's not just easy to explain. It has to be explained in for 5 minutes. I don't think that works.
Oh, it doesn't. This is why I hate this match. Because it's horrendous.
I think this will be a better version of what the other two Punjabi prison matches were, just because both guys are in better shape than the other four guys that are in.
Stinks.
The Punjabi prison. Jinder has gotten better on the microphone, but not so much better in the ring. Let's keep it
I
wide
don't think he's that good on the microphone. He just has a really great entrance.
He does have a very good entrance.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the only thing I like about Jinder Mahal, his entrance.
And the Singh brothers have done a very good job of making him the ultra heel, I would say, and doing everything.
The Singh brothers are awesome. The Singh brothers are awesome.
They did everything in their power to make sure he keeps the title. But as Randy said, how does Singh get involved in this? I think Ginger does find a way to escape and keep the title, but I think this will be a as violent as it needs to be.
No, it won't. It will be a climbing race, and it will be a boring snooze fest.
He's completely dumping on his match.
Yes, because it sucks. It sucks, and I'm breathing fire right now as we're talking. I'm burning up this microphone.
Yeah, you're breathing more fire on this. I thought you went on the ankle thing, but the
ankle thing stuck too.
Yeah, he's been steadfast on this Ginger Punjabi prison match ever since I told him about the rumors about the prison match about a month ago. He's been steadfast in dumping on it. So yeah, it's been real for the last month when we talked about the Punjabi prison. So we will see how obviously. There'll be people in D-Cruz's corner who will dump on it. I will give it a chance, but we'll see how this goes and how good or bad it could actually be.
So we're going to have a flag race and a climbing race. My God, this is going to suck.
The flag match, the way it has to be won, I don't love that. So the whole racing to the stage, pretty much, to plant the flag. But the flag match concept itself, I'm perfectly fine with the flag match concept.
I'm perfectly fine with the flag match concept, but it's a flag race.
Yeah,
we can have that outside.
Yeah, sure could.
Catch me outside, bruh.
Has she gotten in a bunch of trouble over the last?
How about that?
6 months?
Yeah,
she's gotten in a bunch of trouble over the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the Punjabi prison. That's your week in WWE, and that's Battleground. Our preview for Battleground, which will be this Sunday at Wells Fargo Center. Tickets are still available.
Tickets are very available. Very available.
Very real. So we're getting as we get closer to Battleground, and then after
the only thing it's worth coming to the show for is for the Rumble pre-sale.
True, there's that. But even then, as long as you're with the emails, you can get the
Rumble pre-sale
info before that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that.
I'll be in the building for the Rumble. I will be.
As everyone will make an effort to get to the Royal Rumble. And then Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Also,
I'll go to NXT. I'm not going to Raw and SmackDown because that's just way too much money.
Of the four, I'd most want NXT.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see how all that will go, and how much fun that could possibly be. So that's really your week in WWE. And after that, both shows can really get ready for SummerSlam and get ready for Brooklyn.
And then Connor and Floyd. Straight up fire.
As Connor and Floyd have over the last couple weeks spit barbs at each other. Some have gone below the belt, if you will. Some have been pretty funny. Floyd made a
rubbing his head.
Yep, there's been some good shots traded at each other back and forth as we get ready for their extravaganza on August 26th. And we'll see. And $100 to get your, because if you don't have an HD by now, what are you doing? $100 to get the fight on HD. A paltry $90 for those who don't have HD. And everyone and their cousin will probably either watch the fight or stream the fight
illegally,
or they'll find a way to go to some bar or something and have the fight on there. That's what you're dealing with for the Mayweather-McGregor battle, August 26th. And the Canelo Triple G on September 16th is going to be brilliant, I would think.
Plugs. Brian, your plugs.
Follow me on Twitter at BR26. And follow my G1 coverage. I think I'm going to do all 19 shows. You can find reviews of all of them at WrestlingObserver.com.
Which I am a subscriber of.
Go ahead.
I said which I'm a subscriber of.
Yes.
You can find Brian's work on F4WOnline.com. Get a subscription. You can also find his podcast on the When It Was Cool network.
Yes. Champions at Heart. You can find us at the When It Was Cool network.
which is on Patreon.
Patreon.
Beast Mike, your plugs.
Yep. Twitter.com/BeastMike is where you can find me. I'm all over the place when it comes to talking about stuff. Obviously, shared my opinions on my Facebook page on the OJ thing of him getting his parole. And I might have to show up, like, to do like a cameo appearance to kind of do like NFL previews and college football previews. I might have to show up to do that at some point over the next week or so.
I'll
next
do it.
couple weeks. I'll have to show up, like, probably after I get in the ring if there's time, and just go in with that. So just get the NFL previews and kind of recap the summer a little bit. So I might have to do all that and really just come back for a show. But for that, in due time, we'll set that up possibly and see where we go. So that's where you can find me when I'm not in the studio or something. That's where you'll find me.
Meat Press Slam is where you can find me on Twitter. I tweet about various things, including sports, wrestling. Sadly, John McCain has brain cancer. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, get well soon. Yeah,
get well soon, John McCain.
This is about political stuff. Like, get well soon, Senator McCain.
He's a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will be recording tonight with Loss of ProWrestlingOnly.com. We're going to talk about the PWO 2K project that I'm involved in. And I'm also involved at PlaceToBeNation.com. I'm in their daily discussion feed all the time, discussing things. That's a lot of fun where it is. And I'm also part of the Place to Be Nation Greatest WWE Wrestler Ever project, which we're heading full steam into. It's a lot of fun. You can get involved into this project too. Just message like the guys at Place to Be Nation and they'll get you involved. And yeah, that's basically it.
All right.
For Bryan Rose and Beast Mike, this is Danny Kukler. It is 11:32 on Monco Radio, where the music reminds me. Hard and Heavy coming up in a half hour. Thank you, Brian.
All right. No problem.